Hello, Shannon's back for a minute. On the last video, I had a couple things that I forgot. Wanted to share really quick. A couple of things that were really important. If you didn't watch the last video, please go back and you'll know what I'm talking about. I wanted to talk about the meaning of Linda's name. It's derived from the word meaning serpent. It means pretty or lithe, graceful as a serpent, and it reminded me of how we are supposed to be gentle as a dove and wise as a serpent. I also wanted to talk about Marta when she dresses in Harlan's robe and hat and comes down, and Walt thinks he's looking at his dad or father. And it reminded me of when Yeshua said, "If you've seen me, you've seen the Father." And also when we are looking at people, we usually see what we are. And Walt, I believe, represented the other type of spirit in the future. He's going to be writing the New Testament, that publishing company, and he's going to represent the actual Father. I also wanted to talk about Ransom for a minute when he comes and he rescues Martha from the family who's wanting her to give back the money. And he's basically not her friend. He's presenting himself as a friend. Now, I want to remind everybody that this is not about the physical Jew or the physical Christian. Those two are archetypes of unbelievers and believers, and both are in both groups. Because what I'm going to say next, I want you to visualize and understand that this is actually going on in the religious sect today. You have a group of people from one section, the Jewish section, who have befriended the Christian leaders in the Christian section. Now, whether they're believers or unbelievers, you know, you can't group everybody the same. But I know that there are some rabbis that are, you know, have pretty much befriended some Christians who have maybe become rabbis or whatever. And if you're in the sect, you know what I'm talking about. And they're trying to make Jesus or Yeshua appear one way, and they're basically wanting them to admit that it was the Christians that killed Jesus, you know, through Rome. And I'm here to tell you that those who killed Yeshua are the haters from both groups, both the Jews and the Christians. There's haters in both. There are lovers in both. The Jewish sect and the Christian sect, they're just archetypes of unbelievers and believers, but both belong in both sections. So you're going to have the haters of one group that are going to try to steal the inheritance or get it back, and you're going to have the haters in the other group that are going to try to stand and say that it's theirs. But rest assured that the tribe of Judah, represented by Harlan, that's the haters. The tribe of Israel, represented by Marta, those are the lovers. And you have them in both groups. But in this segment with Ransom and Marta, you can see this happening in religion today. And you can see that Christians, there are some leaders in the Christians that have mixed the two wines, and they're crucifying certain groups for maybe accepting the gay community, or, you know, not speaking against abortion or whatever. Again, it's the mixing of the two wines. The highest law is the law of love. And when you are partaking in the law of love, love covers a multitude of sin. It does not expose. It does not condemn. That could be considered tolerating. Some people have changed the word love and say, well, I don't have to tolerate this kind of behavior. Yes, you do. It's called loving. It is not your call to condemn people. Now, we are called to abide by the laws, and if the law is that you can't do this or you can't do that, that's one thing. But when the law says that you can, same-sex marriage, whatever, yes, you must tolerate. And if you don't, you are not operating under the law of the Father. You are trying to be God. You are setting yourself up in the temple claiming to be God by trying to persecute and condemn others. We've all been given the choice to live our life the way we choose. And if you see it as going against God's law, that's your problem. It's God's business between them and God. And our job is to love everybody, because we all have something we do that's not exactly according to the Word. And the biggest thing that people who think they're following the law, that they're breaking, is the law of love. And guilty of all if you don't love. So I wanted to bring that out. I am not a hater of any religion. I love everybody in all religions. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing today, because we have been judging each other by the wrong rules. We've been judging by the rules that give you a knowledge of good and evil, rather than the law that leads to life, and that's the law of love. And I am here to make a distinction between the two. And when we operate by the law of love, sometimes it requires us to break a lesser rule. But we're not held to the law when we are operating under the law of love. That would be what Eve did in the garden. And earlier when I said that Yeshua went to prison, I was actually talking about the archetype Joseph, that he went to prison, because, you know, the one that actually died in the movie, she wasn't a murderer, not physically, Fran, but she didn't do the job of the house. She did not cover, she exposed, but not for the right reason. If she had exposed to basically keep someone from being murdered, like in the story of Queen Esther, when Mordecai had told about the two that were planning to kill the king, that would have been one thing. She was telling because she wanted the wealth. That's something totally different. So, you know, we see that going on in the religious movement today too. Some trying to tell what they think is the truth and crucify somebody when it's not really the truth, kind of like Ransom did with Marta, because he wanted the wealth. So I wanted to make a short video to clarify that, and I wanted to also say that the Nana, she saw Ransom 3 times. When she looked at Marta, she saw Ransom. And I thought that was kind of funny as well, because again, what you see is what you are. He had to become the way he was some kind of way. So, you know, I'm sharing again what my brain sees and thinks. And you can either see it or not, it's your choice. But somebody has to share it when they see it. So I'm here to do that. I'm not afraid. I'm going to speak truth in my mind. And if you like it, great. And if you don't, hey, just turn the channel off. Don't ever watch again. It doesn't matter. But I'm here to share what I know God has given me to share. And if you like it and you want to hear more, keep watching, share it. And if you don't, just turn it off. That's called the world of freedom. But I'm here to speak on behalf of everybody, because everybody belongs to God. All of us, even those who are haters, belong to God. We would not have a testimony without a test. If there weren't haters, then we wouldn't have people that have risen and been the victor. So we're living this thing called life, and we have people playing all the parts. We've often played all the parts, but the one that lasts till the end and is playing the right part will be the victor. The only victims are the one playing that part. So with that being said, I hope that you have enjoyed everything that I've shared, and I hope that you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.